go ahead to the next point, that is a kind of a deployment model that we have already seen. Now, when we talk about cloud deployment model, cloud services, and types of services that can be offered, everything depends on the deployment model. So, deployment model plays a very important role, a very crucial role in that. Now, you have also seen that in terms of deployment model, in terms of the deployment model, when we talk about public cloud, private cloud, community cloud, or any other cloud which is responsible for deploying the services that is offered to the end user, the application, the type of the application, the usability of the application, everything depends on that how you are going to deploy it. Suppose you made an application and you want to deploy it over a public cloud. So when you deploy it over a public cloud, you have to give privileges in some other way where every public can have the access to it. On the other hand, if we talk about the private cloud, then it will be deployed to a specific set of user. Okay, now I'll tell you two things. One application is Flipkart. Okay, so how many of you are aware about Flipkart? Almost everyone might be aware on Flipkart. Now the second application I want to talk to you is Udaan. Anybody is having any idea what is Udaan? Yes.
Sir, I guess it's an NGO.
No. Udaan application.
Sir, it's a B2B platform for selling goods.
Okay, very nice. Tanmay, do you want to ask something? I can see your raise hand.
So I wanted to ask that the different types of cloud deployment models which you just discussed. So sir, here security plays a very important role, right? That, like that's the major role which is involved in because if it is private, then you need to grant the permission only to the authorized users, right?
Right.
Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Now, when I was talking about these two application, as Vyapak said it correctly that Flipkart is an e-commerce application while Udaan is a B2B application. So for creating an account on Flipkart, there is no restriction. Anyone can create an application very easily. There are no restriction of creating an application. But when we talk about Udaan application, uh, then in terms of Udaan application, one need to look forward for a GST number, a shop act, all the relevant document because it's a B2B platform. It's not B2C platform. So when we talk about a B2B platform, then that time what happens? You are directly associated with the business people only. So general public is no longer able to create any account on that. So if you are a business community, if you belongs to a business community, then and only then you can purchase things from there. Vyapak, do you have any more idea on that? Do you have an account on Udaan or anything like that?
Yes, sir. I have my father's account on Udaan.
Okay.
And in Rajasthan, Jaipur, Udaan is making a huge chaos by selling medicines on very cheap rates.
Okay. Okay. So no, what is this like? How is the interface or anything that you want to elaborate? Because nobody else can create an account unless and until they have GST number, Shop Act, and other things.
So the interface is pretty good, but there are a few glitches there.
Hmm.
Nothing much.
Okay. See, when we talk about Udan application, the main thing that is different for Udan application is that it belongs to a specific community. It's not publicly available to everyone. It belongs to a specific community. Business community people can have that account. Second thing is that you have to do a bulk order. Most of the products are on bulk order basis. It's not a retail store. It's a wholesale store. So you have to order, like for example, you want to order headphones. So you have to order at least 20 headphones, 10 headphones, 7 headphones, like that. So it's a bulk ordering platform, wholesale order, and the cost seems to be much more cheaper in comparison. Then the next in the list is, if we talk about any other application, for example, let me give you an application called as iCloud. So iCloud is a software that we are using. It's a learning management system. And have you used our college LMS also? College.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference in our college LMS and iCloud?
So when I log into iCloud, you are talking about Apple, right?
No, no, no. I'm talking about our college iCloud.
Um, I have not. I have used it, but I forgot the interface. Don't remember it pretty well.
Okay.
So
Now
I
see,
guess on LMS, when you log in, you are able to see the subjects and the assignments and all which are posted.
right, right, right.
Yeah, but in iCloud, you can just see the basic things which are done in the class and all. As far as I remember, both have a very minor difference.
Hmm. Okay. Now see, when we talk about iCloud, it is specifically for our college student. So when we go to iCloud, it goes like it's specifically. I'll show you an interface. Nobody has ever used iCloud. It's our college learning management system. You can just go to iCloud and check your attendance, assignment, marks, and everything.
So
So we
most of
have
the
used it.
time, attendance is not updated there.
Yeah,
So we haven't used it much. We have used it once or twice, but not much.
Okay, okay.
because
No,
all the assignments and all were already given in the physical class that time. So
okay,
we didn't visit it much.
okay, okay. Okay, I'll show you 2-3 software in next week. I'll definitely show you when we have practical session. That time I'll show you some practical things regarding it. Now, moving ahead to the next deployment model, that are public and hybrid. We already had a good discussion on public and hybrid. Now, what is the major difference between a public cloud and private cloud? This is the last major thing that we need to discuss. So for the unit, for the first unit, so when we talk about public cloud, there are Amazon EC2, Microsoft Azure, and have a number of benefits when it comes to a public cloud. Public cloud basically is a utility model. A public cloud typically delivers a pay as you go model where you can pay by hour for the computer resources that you use. This is an economically way to go if you are spinning up and tearing down development services or servers on a regular basis. So let us assume that you are utilizing the server but not on daily basis. Then by moving ahead on this will get us better opportunities, and it will be a cost effective model as well. On the other hand, no contracts. Along with the utility model, you are only paying by the hour. So if you want to shut down your server after only 2 hours of use, there is no contract required for ongoing use of the server. So this is great. Like for example, if you are paying it for 2 hours, then you can take it, use it, and then simply stop it. Do you know what is a rave car model nowadays? REVV, Zoom car, rave car. Drive Easy. Do you know all these platforms? What are these platforms? Any idea?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
So we can book a car on that, and
Hmm.
we have to pick up the car uh, from wherever we are booking it, and we have to hand over our driving license to that person.
Hmm.
And after we deliver the car back to him, we get our driving license back. That's it. And there are some policies also that if we are hiring a car for a particular period of time, and if that exceeds, that will cost us more, and something like that. There are many policies.
So basically, it's renting a car.
Absolutely correct. So this particular model became very popular because most of the people, what they do is they look forward for something where they can rent the services. So if you are renting the services, it's very easy. You don't need to maintain. Now, Avi, if I ask you whether renting is a good option or buying is a good option, what will you prefer?
So for long term, obviously buying, because we can keep it to ourselves and the way we want. And for a
Hmm.
short period of time, renting is the better option, because that product is not ours, that belongs to someone else, and we don't have to take care of it.
Right. So renting rather than renting, if we are going for a long term, we should buy it. But if it's a short term, then we should rent it. So nowadays, renting model became very popular, not only in the transport, but so as in the computation part by using cloud. So it's a utility model. Second, there is no contract. Although there is a contract called a service level contract. No contract means that is with respect to the user perspective, but from the service point of view, there is a contract. So if the service goes down, then the company has to pay for it, like that. Third is shared hardware. So because the public cloud is by definition a multi-tenant environment. Anybody has ever heard this term multi-tenancy or multi-tenant environment? Any idea on
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, Tanmay, tell me what is multi-tenant?
So multi-tenant environment means a particular thing is can be taken as a resource, and many people or many clients are using that particular resource at the same time,
Hmm.
one by one. One
Hmm.
by one means simultaneously they can use it because
Hmm.
it is in a kind of distributed network system.
Okay. So multi-tenancy is like you have one hardware which has been shared by multiple people. So one, two, three, four people can use the similar kind of hardware, like that it is. So multi-tenancy is a very good architecture where we can share the resources among the user. Like one hardware, a partial part of the storage can be used by let's say Tanmay. Some partial part of the hardware can be used by Dell. Some partial part of the hardware can be used by Vyapak, like that it is. So we can divide the hardware and we can use it based on the requirement. Now the next is self-manage. With the pay as you go utility model, self-managed systems are required for business model to make sense. There is an advantage here for the technical buyers that like to set up and manage the detail of their servers, but a disadvantage for those that fully managed solution. So self-manage means whatever the way you want to manage, you can manage it, or you can program it like by default. You can go with the configuration, and if you go with the by default configuration, then it will be done like that also.
So
Yes.
one doubt that as you said that self-managed, like if I want to develop and just manage the services as I want, so that's
Hmm.
not just a feature of this public cloud, but cloud computing services as a whole, right?
I didn't get you, Tanmay. Can you repeat again?
Yes, sir. As it is mentioned that self-managed systems are basically like you just develop and you manage the services on your own, whatever you
Hmm.
want it. So
Hmm.
if we don't take it to public cloud as a cloud computing services, it is a part of it or a feature of it as a whole, right?
It's a part of cloud computing services. Uh,
Yeah, it's
yeah, it's a part of cloud computing services
no,
because
yeah,
when we say that it's self-managed, then the user might be looking for some of the services that he is not aware about. For example, the user or the person who is hiring cloud is not technically sound, and he wants some default configuration from the company itself. Then what he can do is he can take the ready setup from the company and just try to use it. He is not going to disturb or change or manage the configuration. So server is managed by the service provider itself, and user is only taking advantage of the services. That is it. But if you want to
okay.
take the whole, if you want to take the whole control on your hand, then it's better to go with platform or infrastructure as a service, where management will comes to your desk. You have to manage everything.
Yes, sir. So, sir, basically this thing is not a different thing for public cloud. So by
No,
default thing for the cloud, right?
yes, by default thing for a cloud, it can be public
Yeah.
or it can be any other also.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody is having any doubt in that? Okay. So this was all about public.
Not so far. So if I have a doubt, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Right, right
Yes.
now, no. Right now, no, not now.
Okay.
Maybe later on.
Okay. Now we
Yeah.
will discuss something on the private cloud, that is in comparison to little contrast to public. Private cloud hosting by definition is a single tenant environment where the hardware, storage and network are dedicated to a single client or a company. Private cloud computing also have a number of benefits. Like for example, SSCSR owns its own private cloud where all the storage, data, services are kept. Now, if we talk about private cloud, first is security. Now, why it is more secure? Because it is not multi-tenant, like multiple peoples are not there. Only dedicated people using dedicated environment, using dedicated hardware are using it within the organization or can be a part of organization are using it. And all the users who are the users of a private cloud are predefined, like they are predefined by default, so that is an added advantage. So private cloud is having this added advantage where we have a good number of people, good number of user, good number of resources which are here, and they are only looking forward for accessing a particular kind of network storage and data. On the other hand, when we talk about a public cloud, we don't know what user from what location are trying to access it. Will be looking to access it in future also. Now, second is compliance. So there are several compliance. I'll let you know. Like there are several compliance here, which are looking forward for like delivering virtual place or virtual private cloud or fully private cloud deployment, because the necessary hardware, data storage and network configuration are dedicated to a single client. So there are few companies. I'll put the name of them for you so that you can see them here itself. There are healthcare industry, health insurance policy, and there are uh, payment card industry like credit card or debit card. So they follow some security standards, and their security standard directs that they are not supposed to use any kind of facility which falls under multi-tenancy. So for example, we are using credit card or debit card. So the information and data with respect to credit card and debit card is very confidential. So as the information is very confidential, it is not easy to take multi-tenant environment in that place, and it is also not suggested to take a multi-tenant environment. So banking system, they are looking for a private cloud because their data is very much crucial. Nowadays you might have heard about blockchain. Anyone is having any idea on blockchain? No one is having any idea on blockchain.
Yes, sir. I have a basic idea about it.
Yeah.
So blockchain is like a cryptocurrency network which you create for exchange of those cashless thing like the bitcoins and all. as far as
Hmm.
I know.
Right, right.
So Bitcoin is based on a blockchain. Yeah, it's like your computer might take a block and start doing some operations and on it, and then add it to the blockchain. The something like that, something similar.
Yeah, it's a kind of a distributed ledger where it's an architecture where you can actually create cryptocurrency and that particular environment. Now, when we talk about the cryptocurrency distributed environment, these are all highly secure, and the transaction rate per minute is much more higher than the transaction rate of any other operating system. So they usually prefer to own private cloud rather than a public cloud. Now, next is in the list customization. So talking about the customization, hardware performance, network performance, and storage performance can be specified and customized in a private cloud. So since we are owning a private cloud, we have complete authority on the cloud, and which doesn't affect the modifications to the other shared people. Okay, consider that in Pune you might have observed maximum number of people are staying in apartments.
Yes,
So
sir.
staying in apartment, you are sharing a place. Okay, the land is same and you are having your own block where you are staying. Okay, you are having lots of, like, it's completely personalized and private for you, and you can customize within that environment only. But what if your apartment is of white color and you want to color the entire apartment pink? You want to make entire apartment pink color or blue color. Interior you can do for yourself. That particular flat, that particular block belongs to you, so you can customize and you can do it. But
So
what
we
about,
have to ask from for the other people who are staying in the building, right?
you need an NOC. Once you have the NOC, then and only then, and you need to also raise the fund also from everyone to do so, and that is highly impossible, because here if we talk about the apartment, then the apartment might have 100 flat, and taking NOC from 100 flat is not easy for all those things. But when it is your own house, like a bungalow or a personal house on a land constructed by you, then what is the difference?
So we can do it on our own. We don't need to ask anyone. It's
uh,
our property, right?
yeah, it's your property, you have the authority, you can change it any color, any combination. You can do interior changes, external changes, even upgradations. You don't need authorities to do that. So that is the major difference between when we talk about a shared space and when we talk about this personalized private property. Now, there is one more terminology. It's from the business point of view I'm talking about. Have you heard about this shared space uh, companies? Nowadays, there is a culture going on. Shared space.
Yeah.
What is it?
Sir, I don't remember the company name, but I saw it while browsing that some companies like they provide you the basic like office something, and so many companies can just book some conference hall and just do their work. Like in a
Yeah,
particular building, if you just take an office and make it a building, like the
yeah.
building is the office, then there can be 4 to 5 companies there.
Right, right, right.
Like
Now
it is
see,
a contract.
if you visit FC Road when you are back in Pune, backside of the FC Road, there are few old buildings which are taking this culture called as shared space, shared office space. Okay, so now I'll explain you how the model is shared office space. What they do, let us say that there are two types of call center. domestic call center and international call center. So domestic call center runs between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. right? On the other hand, international call center works 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning. Do you know this? This is very common, right? Domestic call center runs their services between morning 9 to 6. On the other hand, international call center works their service from night to the morning. So one office space can be utilized by two types of company. One is running domestic and one is running international. They can share the same space, same infrastructure, same location because their office hours are different. That's it.
Sir, I was not recollecting the name. I got it. That's WeWork.
WeWork, right?
Yeah.
So there are companies who are looking forward for shared space. So these are the things like multi-tenancy, and these are some of the major comparison between a private and a public cloud. Like when you are when you will become cloud analyst and cloud architect, you have to think from the company point of view whether what particular kind of cloud we can make now, whether we can go with private cloud, whether we should go with a public cloud, because that decision is a future decision that you have to take. So to take that decision, you should be very much aware about the two different types of cloud, public and private. Now, last in the list is hybrid deployment. If a dedicated server is required to run a high-speed database application, that hardware can be integrated into a private cloud. In effect, hybridization, the solution being virtual servers and dedicated servers. This can't be achieved solely in a public cloud. So if you are like looking forward for combining few services for increasing the capability with the hybrid deployment approach, you can do it in only private cloud. Hybrid deployment is not allowed as such in public cloud. So this is an again added advantage if you are going with the private cloud. Now I have discussed all the major aspects on private and public cloud. So if you are having any idea, I want to give you 5 minutes to think on if you want to go in future, which cloud will you choose? Public cloud or private cloud with a justified reason why you want to go with a public cloud or why you want to go with a public cloud or a private cloud.
Sir,
Yes.
so can you just give an example of hybrid cloud usage, like which sector or what type of companies do use hybrid cloud? Like you gave the example of financial sector for the private clouds, like that.
For hybrid cloud, we can say research. For example, now corona vaccine research is going on. Okay, so on hybrid
Okay.
cloud, if Serum Institute is making the vaccine, okay, so what do? They will keep some data private within themselves. Okay, but if they want to share some data with global people for the global development, because COVID or Corona was a global crisis for everyone. It's for all the countries. So here all the country come together to form the solution for it. It's not like that we are only making. Every country was trying from their hand. So in that particular case, if we talk about that, then some research can be shared globally with people on a hybrid cloud where half portion is public and half portion is private.
Yeah, got it, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Tanmay, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you, Netflix, Uber, Airbnb are highly using hybrid cloud data storage.
Oh, okay.
Even Netflix is using a hybrid cloud.
Okay. Got it. Sir, one thing.
Yes.
One thing just got into my mind that again that example of WeWork. If that for WeWork, if WeWork is just giving that particular office to two companies, for
Hmm.
example, so company A and company B, and those two companies, as far as I know, so WeWork also provides the particular services related to the office works and all. So
Hmm.
will WeWork use a private hybrid cloud? Because if those two are a small financial company as well, so those two will not share the data with the public or with each other, right? Because that's
No, no,
confidential.
no, no,
So
no.
will
See,
hybrid cloud be used by WeWork then?
no. It's not about data infrastructure, Tanmay. It's only about the space, the location they are sharing. Like, for example, uh, our SICSR building, right?
Yeah, I got
So
it, sir. I got it. I'm not talking about that, but I read somewhere in the WeWork that it also provides the infrastructure, like not just the building and all. It's
but
like the
also, yeah,
computers and all, the actual infrastructure which the company needs to work.
they will definitely give an isolated model. I'll tell you. Just try to understand this, Tanmay. With a very simple example, I'll help you to understand that. Okay. Now,